Let's see if I can. Oh, if I do that, that won't work. Okay, I was able to listen and learn. And so I'm at Boston College, and I'm the executive director of the National Research Mentoring Network, but it's a national research mentoring network. So our constituents are in all 50 states, the Pacific Islands, Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii. And so my job is to make sure that when I work with you, that you're successful. But if you can help me by learning, and that's what I did this morning. I learned about career mentoring and what's happening here in the Build Exito program, which is fantastic and quite inspiring. And I learned that sometimes matches may or may not work, but then there's this resiliency where you just switch, and there's more than another way to be, that mentor shouldn't be, if it's not working, then you find another mentor and you keep going, right? And even though that person might be fantastic for some people, but maybe not for you. And so that's where we subscribe to the model of multiple mentors. And yes, NRMN is one network, but there's multiple networks. You have your networks here, but maybe NRMN could be part of another network that you can have. And maybe you might have a multiple mentor that you might be able to find at NRMN. So, and NRMN was started really spearheaded by the director of NIH, Francis Collins. And he really believes that for us to really do the United States to be at the forefront of the biomedical research workforce and discovery and innovation, we need participation and brilliant people like yourselves in the network. Imagine what you can do. And so if our biomedical research workforce is not diverse, then those ideas of the diversity ideas coming into doing research or trying to find a cure for cancer, maybe this is why we haven't had a cure for cancer yet. And so what if we increase diversity of the scientists addressing it? Maybe we can attack it from different angles. We can find cures for cancer and for Alzheimer's. And so this is quite important. So we really need you to have your voices and the voices that you're learning to develop here through the Build Exito to continue that, because then we need you to participate in this workforce. And the NRMN is managed through the National Institute of General Medical Sciences. So this is basically our boss. And I'm at Boston College, but the grant's managed with them. And so he's a basic scientist, but he wants experimentation, he wants discovery, and he wants us to be enthusiastic about it. And it was so nice to see how someone on the panel says, hey, I want to do research, and you just walking up to a mentor, that was fantastic. We need more of you to do that, to just say, hey, I want to be mentored, and I want to do research. And we need more of that, and to continue to do that. And sometimes you'll knock on a door and maybe that door won't open, but just keep knocking on more doors, and the doors will open. And if you have any problems, knock on NRMN's door, and we'll make sure that door is open for you. We'll leave the light on for you too. So our mission is provides biomedical research trainees, all of you, with evidence-based mentorship and professional development, programming that emphasizes the benefits of diversity, inclusivity, and culture within mentoring relationships. So NRMN has already partnered with the Build on some of the curriculum that that's developed with mentoring, but we also should learn from Build as well, and some of the new things, and what are you doing, what's Build doing that's really impactful to really have such a great success rate with you. And so I'm also here to learn. And we have a shared mission, and our mission fits really nicely with the Build Exito mission of where it aims to identify students in their college career and engage them in finding solutions to today's major health problems. We need you to find that cure for cancer. We need you to really deal with Alzheimer's and diabetes. And NIH hasn't come up with these cures yet. And that's why we do need you. So when school is tough and it gets quite difficult or time is low, just remember, it's a greater purpose. And you're just one piece of that puzzle, but you're an essential piece. And so we need you to be part of the solution. And so NRMN has our mentoring circle. So you can come in anywhere within this circle through promoting. That's why I'm here, to talk about NRMN and adding it as one of your networks. Build is your network, it's your primary home network, but maybe you can have multiple networks. And so, and then there's matching and linking, where I'll talk a little bit about that today. and some training. There's some mentor training. Some of it that you're already getting through the Build Exit though, but there are also some other aspects that can also help you with some of the training. I'll talk about that. And referring, what are the resources that are out there for you? And a lot of it is free, provided by the National Institutes of Health and by the government. So it's for you, and you should use that. And so we leverage partnerships with over 40 professional societies. And so there's almost every single field and science, and we're adding more every day. And we're developing these relationships. But some of them you may know, like SACNAS, or the National Society of Black Engineers. You might be familiar with these, but there are others that are just majority populations, and they want to improve diversity. They want access to you to help you, and so that you can contribute to Society for Neuroscience and come up with a cure for Alzheimer's and neurodegeneration. And our people in our portal come mainly through ABRCAMS, the annual Biomedical Research Conference for Minority Scientists, or through SACNAS. But these slivers here have been changing over the last few months, and they're starting to grow a bigger part of our pie. And that's quickly within the last 6 months, we're starting to see this. And we're quite excited. So hopefully it'll be a day where it'll be just equally sliced at all perspectives, and it's really reflecting the true range of diversity. And so there's this application called My Mentoring. Let me see if this works. Will it go to?
National Research Mentoring
Oops, I might need some help here.
NRMN offers a virtual mentoring program to help research.
Oops, yeah, thanks. So, how many of you heard of NRMN before today? Oh, great, that's why I'm here, perfect. Fantastic. That's awesome, that makes me very happy. That's great. Because if everyone's heard of it, then I don't need to be here. So that's great. That's perfect. That's perfect. How many people have been to Boston? 1, 2, 3, okay, great. Yeah. San Francisco, a lot of people in San Francisco. That's kind of close, right? Seattle's really close. Yeah. So, anyone here from Hawaii? Oh, wow, okay. Anyone here from a further distance than Hawaii? Oh, cool. Where's that? Oh, nice, nice. Anyone further than that? Okay, I think that table wins. Oh, yeah. That's great. That's great. So I thought I came from a far place, but like, no. So I think, yeah, you win. You win. Really? Okay, wow. That's fantastic. Well, that shows a lot of dedication as well, and that shows the importance of the, we can see it. It's all right. We can just go back to I know you guys it's getting close to lunch for them. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, perfect. And so, yeah, so the video we're experiencing, I hadn't had to set up yet, but basically this is just my mentor. So some of you do come from a far place, and I come from a far place. And how can we be connected? So now all of you, if you want, now that you know that I'm here and NRMN as a resource, feel free to connect with me. Feel free to say, hey, I want to explore opportunities, maybe in Boston or San Francisco or different places. What do I need to do? And knock on people's doors. And that's what I think Dr. Crespo Carlos did when he was in his training. And that's what we all have done. We've knocked on people's doors and we're relentless. And that's what it takes. So if you join my mentor, it's an online guided virtual mentorship, which is about 4 months. And you get paired with a mentor. And that mentor crosses distance. And so there's 2 ways to do it. One is if you sign up and then you might be in one of the Pacific Islands and you can find a mentor on the mainland, or someone in the mainland might find a mentor in the Pacific Islands. and so you can engage in critical conversations. So I liked what someone on the panel said, that the career mentoring was great because you have your research mentor, and that's one perspective, and that's benefiting the mentor with your research and your brilliance. But then you have a career mentor that's great, and that's great locally. But then what if you're thinking about going to graduate school a little bit further out or doing something else quite different? Then maybe NRMN, you might be able to find a mentor that can help address that. So we're subscribing to this multiple mentor philosophy. So, and just like, because it's a community, and you have this community here for you, and it's at your disposal. And then there's this networking tool called My NRMN. It's also through the NRMN portal where you can connect with members. So if you do join, please connect with me. It's easy. It's Rafael Luna. And then just connect with me. That's my picture. That's my profile. That's Tafik at Vanderbilt. And so if you want to go to grad school, and it's all, maybe you might want to stay on the West Coast or somewhere else. But what if you want to go further out? Then you can go here and start looking up at academic administrators, professors, and just start asking them questions and saying, hey, I want to go to grad school. What do I have to do? What are the deadlines? And the beautiful thing about this is that, you know, when I go across the country, it says, is this really needed? Is this just like, you know, there are websites, there are professors, you know, all the institutions have websites. So why do I need to go through my NRMN? I can just go to the website. If I want to go to UCSF for grad school, I just go to the UCSF website. I said, yeah, that's true, you can. But the beautiful thing about this, that we have 6,400 people in our network now, and they're coming from everyone in our portal, they're from all different types of backgrounds that reflect the United States. But they are all devoted and committed to the mission of diversity and inclusivity and mentoring. And so you can find someone that really cares about mentoring through this portal, which it may not be so easy to find if you just go to someone's website, like say at Stanford or UCSF. And there are great people there, and yes, and they're in our network as well. And so it's another way to really find mentors. And so that way, when you knock on that door, you could be, you know, as a screening process, you could find maybe some doors would be more, hopefully more receptive and open, and that's what NRMN wants to provide for you. So I joined NRMN about 7 months ago, and this network was growing, but we wanted to grow it fast. We wanted it to be explosive. We wanted it to be dynamic. We wanted it to be living. We wanted this human organism of a network growing and vibrant. We said that's what it's going to take to help you and address your needs. And so the research centers and minority institutions, they're already funded by NIH, and so we're focusing and targeting on them. You see there's Charles Drew in LA, and there's also Puerto Rico. But there are these sites that we already started partnering up with and we're using their networks. And there are tribal colleges and throughout the Mountain West, which we also started to partner with. But in these regions, also main gaps of the large amounts of diversity, but the persistence of going from a community college to a four-year institution, or from a four-year institution to a graduate program, that hasn't been so successful here. So now we're trying to target here and reach as many people as we can. And so we want to team up with community colleges, four-year institutions, build programs like the Éxito to really help transition. That 2-year to 4-year, we want to make sure you get there, and we want to make sure you go from the 4-year to graduate programs, wherever you want, and whatever you want to do. And if you decide to do something else, that's fine, but you should have the option. If you want to be that scientist to go after cancer, you know, you have to dream big, you have to go for it, and we want to be helpful for you for that. So when I joined in November, and around January, we did this. This is our map. So we have mentees in yellow and mentors in red. And this is reflective of zip codes. So based off of zip code, we get to see where our network is. And we just have my communications person is putting one for Guam. We have mentees in Guam, but we need more mentors in Guam, and we actually need more mentees there. So we have Guam here, but it'd be great to get someone from some of the other islands in there as well. So hopefully that'll start happening today. But what we want is to have a strong network. And here we had this gap when I joined, and Wyoming was completely missing. So there was only 49 states, and even in Montana, there weren't that many individuals. And so, but why is it important, like, to have such a good network? I went to school in DC, which is around here somewhere, and then I used to drive my Mazda Protege in the 90s all the way down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. and I would drive very far to go to college. And it was quite scary when I first left. I was the first in my family to go to college. My dad's from the Dominican Republic. My mother's from El Salvador. My dad went to the second grade. He stopped school when he was 8 years old. And my mom stopped in junior high. And so I had no mentors. But all I knew is that I had a dream that one day I'll go down here and try to get my college degree. So I would drive down, and my mom, I'm sure like your mothers would call you, and I had my cell phone, and I'll lose reception in South Carolina, Alabama. This is in the 90s, and Tennessee. But that also let me know now when we're building this network, your network is only as good as your coverage. So if we have gaps in the Mountain West, if we have gaps in the Pacific Island, then our biomedical research infrastructure has gaps, and that needs to be fixed. And so just like now, if I drive down now, I don't lose signal. And the same thing with us. You could be part of that solution as far as increasing this network and really bringing that back, not to only be successful in science, but then go back to your communities. So now I go back to DC a lot and speak and really help the public schools there to really encourage more students. And you should do that so it's not just for yourself, but for others. So now we're in all 50 states. We're reaching out here. So now this Mountain West is going to be one of our strong areas. And we also want to team up with the Build Éxito so that one of our strengths, and so that we'll have a stronger and more vibrant biomedical workforce. And these are networks, and some of the work that I've been doing, when I joined, I realized I can't do it all. And so I focused where were the gaps. And there's already some networks funded by NIH called the Networks of Biomedical Research Excellence, which is similar to this BUILD program, and they have partner institutions. So you have Portland State and partner with other institutions. They'll have, like the University of South Dakota, partner with 8 other colleges. And so everything in red is where NRMN started collaborating with them. And so we want to collaborate more with BUILD and to reach out to more of you. And then we said there are graduate programs in all these states. But yes, there's traditional in California and the West Coast and also New England. But now the University of Kansas, University of Nebraska Medical Center, they were like, hey, how can we help promote diversity? What can we do to bring more students in so we can help make a difference in this? So there are a lot of committed individuals that are in this network, and we can help you find them as well. And so with South Carolina, we started teaming up with the PIs there, the principal investigators, and also in Puerto Rico. So part of my job is great. I get to meet you. I get to come to Portland for the first time in my life. I'm a city slicker from the East Coast. And so it's quite different, the West Coast, and I love it. I got to work out the flight because I'm 6'5", and so my knees hurt on the plane. I'm sitting in the middle. So it was a tough flight, but I'll work that out. But also I get to go to Puerto Rico, which is quite great. So yeah, and I get to go and really connect and learn from you. So when I'm going to all these places, I'm also learning and listening and want to hear from you. And if anything you want to share and anything we can do to help, please let Carlos know, and we'll try to find a way to make sure that we can be helpful for you and to increase your network as well. So we talked about the network growth. In 2015, we had 270 people in our network, and the brown reflects the mentors, and then the yellow is are the mentees, and this gray area are people that signed up to the network but didn't say mentors or mentees. And you can see this growth is up to 6,200 made, but like now we're in the middle of June or towards the end of June, we're past 6,400. And so this is growing, but I'm not happy with this. I'm still not happy because there are thousands, literally thousands of students that need more help. And there are thousands of people that want to help as mentors. So we want 50,000 mentees within a year, and hopefully by a year and a half, almost 2 more years, we want 100,000 people in our network. And then that way it's a true, vibrant, living organism that's out there committed to help you, and also to help students that come behind you as well. And we want you to be part of that. And so here there's 23% Hispanics in our network, 26% Black or African American, 31% Caucasian, and we have 1% Hawaiian Pacific Islander. Yeah, yes, that's great. Absolutely. But we need your help to increase that to 2 to 3 to 5 to 10%. We want more, and we want to be helpful. And as you get part of this consortium, once you're part of your consortium, your voice matters. And if you let Carlos know and you let me know, then we can work to make sure that your voice is highlighted. And what are your needs? What is that you need and what can we do to help? And we'll team up to try to help you. So, and then also NIH says, okay, great, you're doing great with diversity. You have people from all different backgrounds. Well, what about women? You know, does the NRMN, what does it do with women? And we found that 55% of women are mentors. So yeah, woohoo! So yeah. And 65% of women are mentees. That's even fantastic. So we're really excited about that. So and that's fantastic. And I see the diversity in this room here. So I'm really encouraged and what Build Exito is doing. And so, I was talking to Carlos before. And then it says sometimes it's just nice to see the impact some of these programs are having because NIH is putting a lot of resources for you, right? And so they're committed to your success. But sometimes if I'm in Boston College or I'm visiting at the National Institutes of Health, I don't quite see that difference. We're around a lot of administrators, a lot of meetings, and a lot of people talking. But that's great. But I really enjoy this part where I get to meet, interact with individuals. So feel free to reach out to me while I'm here. But while I was at the American College of Sports Medicine, I met Dr. Robinson, and she's been on my slides for the last 7 months on this left side. But I never met her. And then I gave this talk, and she was in the audience. And so she came up, and I said, okay, I need to change my slides and make sure that we put our picture in here. And she talked about how she has this dream to really make an impact in research, but also to turn it back and help her community. And she said she entered our grant writing coaching groups in one of our training programs, and she wrote a grant, and she had a specific aims, and it didn't do so well. And so the grant writing coach gave her a lot of red marks, and she went home, and it was very difficult. She cried. Right? And it was very difficult for her. But luckily, NRMN, the grant writing coaching groups, also wear two hats. Not only a grant writing coaching to help teach the science, but also mentoring hat. So the grant writing coach put his mentoring hat on and told her that you can do it. You can be successful. Don't give up. This is just a starting point. And it says you would want to hear from me then as opposed to an NIH or a study section where there's no chance to fix it. So she fixed her grant and submitted to NIH, got her $1 million grant from NIH, and I met with her was about a month ago, and then Carlos was there too at the meeting, and she said, I'm working on my second grant, my second $1 million grant, and so she's really excited, and so hopefully we'll have your picture here one day, and to really so you can turn around and make an impact in your community. And then I always hear that when I go throughout the country, when I was at Harvard Med before I joined Boston College and NRMN, I always hear, we can't find people that are diverse that are on the highest level. And that bugs me to no end, especially when I come to see all these scholars here today. There are talented and brilliant individuals from all different backgrounds. So the excuse is saying that there's not enough diverse candidates to address the faculty concerns or to increase the faculty. Yes?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but could you elaborate on a higher level? What does that mean in that context?
As far as?
When they say that there's no diverse.
Oh, okay, at the higher career stage, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's at the career stage. So they say, okay, great, we can increase diversity. So a lot of institutions say, okay, we can increase diversity at the undergraduate level. Okay, we can increase diversity at the graduate student level. And you start seeing that pie start getting smaller. And then at the postdoc level, it gets smaller from a diverse background. And then at the faculty level, assistant professor and full professor, that pie, that slice is almost non-existent. And so, but what I hear at the higher administration level, at like deans and provosts, say we can't find anyone. Where do we find them? How can we find faculty members to join our university so they can teach, so the students can see someone that looks like them, which is important. And I tell them, I said, well, they're out there. And they say, well, we can't find them. And so NRMN now is one resource that they can use. They can find this talented postdoc who actually reconstructed a kidney on a chip. A kidney on a chip and she published a paper in the Nature Biomedical Engineering Journal, the highest biomedical engineering journal in the world, and now she's getting recruited all across the country. And so we highlight her in our newsletter. So when you have a publication that you're publishing, let Carlos know, and then he'll feature in the newsletters here at the Build Éxito, but we'll also feature it in NRMN to give you that visibility, so that to increase that visibility, to change this narrative that there's not enough talented pool of diverse candidates that we can select from. This is from the higher education or major universities speaking. So we're trying to change that, and that's what NRMN is also working to do. But that's where we need your help and your persistence. And then also we have all our programs from undergraduate, graduate, postdoc, junior faculty, senior faculty, non-faculty, and administrators. And so we have the matching linking, which is all free, and all of you can partake of that. And if you want, we can talk with Carlos, and we can have a closed system for Build Éxito, and so you can have your own mentor within the Build Éxito. But you're also free to reach out to find a mentor outside within the network as well. And there's different training programs, some for the undergraduate, a research mentee training, and then as you go to graduate school. And so when you do leave and move on and graduate successfully out of the Build Éxito, feel free to be part of the network and to really so you can persist at the graduate level, at the postdoc level. NRMN wants to be there to help you. And then we'll report back to Build Éxito, and Carlos will see you with your publications in Nature and Science, and it says, hey, that was our Build Éxito scholars. So, and that's part of the vision. So we have a lot of mentor training. We have different videos on our website that you can access social media. Feel free to join us on social media and tweet and Facebook, and then also the different guided virtual mentorship platforms, so that distance shouldn't be a problem for someone in the Pacific Islands, someone in the inner city of Boston, someone in Wyoming should have the same opportunity as anyone in the United States to be a scientist, and we need that diversity. So we definitely need your help. And then at the end, it's really about dreams and hopes and aspirations. We want you to dream, and we want you, you're talented, and we want you to be part of the current workforce, but we also want you to be a role model for the future workforce as well. So that's very important. You serve an essential piece, and sometimes we don't feel that, but yes, you are. And that's why Carlos is working so hard. His whole team here at Build Éxito work so hard. It's the weekend, and they're here for you. And trust me, they're here during the day, but at night, I'm getting emails from Carlos, and they're calling, they're organizing. There's a lot of things they're doing. And why? Because you are so worth it. And so make sure you value that. And then when you go out there and you become mentors, and there's going to be someone knocking on your door and say, hey, can you show me what you did and how were you successful? And then, yes, you'll make sure that door is open as well. So we want to move the diversity needle, and we welcome you to join us, and we want to partner with you, and we're really excited about this. And so I also want to acknowledge that I'm one of 5 principal investigators for NRMN. We have a professional development core at the University of Utah, which is not that far from here. Also research and research outreach core at Morehouse School of Medicine. Chris funded with a lot of the mentor training programs at University of Wisconsin. And also my associate director is also at the University of Wisconsin. And Jambor Vishwanatha, who leads the mentor networking core with all the free online platforms. And also want to thank Carlos for inviting me. I'm really excited. So thank you all, and I'll take any questions if there's any time. But I'll be around for the rest of the day and tomorrow. So if you want to talk to me, if you don't see me, you can ask Carlos or one of the programmers, officials, and they can let you know. But thank you for your time.
So again, we think it's so important for you to understand that now